Hello and welcome to another Buffbunny collection sizing and review video with me, your girl T, and today we are going to be reviewing the community collection. So if you weren't part of the original Discord, which sadly is no longer a thing, or if you don't really follow Heidi and keep up with her social media, not just the Buffbunny but like Heidi's, then you probably didn't know about this because so many of you questioned, where's the Halloween launch? And I get it, but they started planning this like a year and a half ago, I want to say, and they've been saying, Heidi has been saying, the Discord has been saying, this is going to fall in the fall of 2025, and it's going to replace what would normally be the Halloween collection. So again, if you were part of that original Discord group, or if you follow Heidi, if you watch her lives, then you knew this was coming. But if you don't or you didn't, then you probably felt a little blindsided by it. But this is the community collection. These are pieces that were picked, voted on by you guys, by the Buffbunny community, the active Buffbunny community. You know, for like the past year and a half, I know for as long as like I was planning Vita, this was also going on, where they asked, like, if you could bring back a piece, what piece would it be? If you could bring back a color, what color would it be? And then they gathered that data to see what was the most requested, and then they started putting together a community collection. There were lots of polls where you guys got to vote on the colors, on the styles, on the updates. You guys got to name some of the pieces like Bunny Pink and Lima Bean for the beans. So again, truly a community collection that was created by the Buffbunny community. You guys voted for these pieces. You guys made this collection happen. So if you were hoping for a Halloween launch or a fall launch, I'm sorry to disappoint, but we do have some gems in here. So I'm really excited to dive into that. I'm actually wearing my favorite set of the whole launch, which is crazy because if you've watched my reviews for a while, you know how I feel about contrast stitching. Not my fave, especially if it's like multicolor. I've always been like, I don't know. We had some with Story most recently too, and I was just kind of like, I like the bras, I don't like the leggings. So when I initially saw this, I wasn't surprised that it was a returning item because you guys loved the Loch Ness leggings and Loch Ness shorts show like way back. So I wasn't surprised that you guys voted for this to come back. But I'm genuinely surprised at how much I love it. And I honestly think I like it because it's airbrush fabric. I just feel like it just stays better. Listen, I'm diving into the review already at this point. Let me shut up. But anyway, I actually really love this. So thank you guys for bringing this set back because I am in love with it. But again, we have so many good items, so I'm ready to dive in and tell you what I think about them. This collection drops this Saturday, October 25th at 1 p.m. Central. As always, you can use code Teresa. It saves you money at checkout, but it also supports me directly. If you appreciate these review videos, if you appreciate my Q&As, my color comparisons, all of the work that I put into these launches, then please consider using my code. That is how I get paid for doing all of this work. So every time you guys use my code, it means a lot, and it really helps me out. It helps me support my family. So thank you for using my code. Of course, that also means that you can enter my monthly giveaway. Every single month, I have a support code giveaway. So if you use my code, you screenshot your order confirmation, you fill out the form and upload your screenshot, then you are entered for the chance to win a $100 gift card. Now, for the past few months, I've been letting you guys choose because now that I'm partnered with different brands, I want you to get the gift card for the brand that you resonate with the most or that you want to spend on the most. So you get to pick where your $100 gift card is from, but it's just a little way for me to give back and like I said, it's just a drawing, so it's random every time, but I just wanted to have some way to give back to you as a thank you. All right, here is my sizing. This year I've stayed pretty similar. Okay, I'm still a large top, I'm still a large bottom, I'm still a large across the board, but I did size down in Cloud because it's oversized as it is, and so like before when I was 30-40 pounds heavier, I could wear my large and feel okay, but now if I wear large Cloud, it just feels like too much. So I've started sizing down in Cloud and Threads to medium, so that's what I did for all of the Cloud pieces in this collection. I do not want to keep you waiting, and I'm actually gonna kind of go through these a little bit faster than I normally do, just because I want to make sure that I get this out to you guys ASAP. But let's get started. Okay, let's start with the Maraschino Bra. This is a returning item. Actually, a lot of these are returning items. They all have updates, but I don't think any of them are like brand spanking new. They're all returning in some way. But Maraschino Bra, I cannot for the life of me find my Elysium one. I have the Elysium, well, maybe I don't anymore, but I had the Elysium Maraschino Bra from Sugar Rush, which was Felicia's collab. I know Maraschino came out prior to that as well. I cannot find my old Maraschino bras. I have no idea where they are. Literally dug through all my drawers everywhere and I can't find it. But out of all the versions of Maraschino that we've seen, this is by far my favorite one. I love this. So first of all, it's airbrush fabric, okay? So it's that slick performance fabric, sweat wicking, great for cardio, great support and compression. So if you need a bra that's gonna hold you down, hold you in, this is a good one for that, okay? But they changed the neckline. So on the other ones, it was more like a V and it went a little bit deeper. This one's more like a sweetheart. So you still get that little V shape, but you get a little bit just more coverage, but not crazy coverage. It's literally just a small little tweak. I'm gonna put a picture right here that Kara was kind enough to share with me since I can't find mine, so you can see the neckline shape. So again, still a V, but more of a sweetheart versus a deep V. Okay, now the back. This is the back, and in my opinion, the keyhole is a lot smaller compared to the Sugar Rush ones. I'm going to put a picture right here because although I can't find my Sugar Rush Maraschino bra, I do still have all my pictures from that time, so you can kind of see the back. Obviously this is color contrast. My Maraschino bra from Sugar Rush was that like foiled like sparkle dot situation, sparkle, I think they called it sparkle. So but you can see that the opening changed a little bit, and again this one is going to have more coverage, more support. I also just find it way more comfortable. I like Elysium fabric, but I remember not liking the foiled sparkle of this one. I distinctly remember saying I wish it came in solid colors because I probably would have liked it more. Here we are, 3 years later. Well, actually, no, we do have solid colors now. Let me take that back. We do finally have it in solid colors. But I like this version the best. Out of like the original one, the Sugar Rush one, and now we have this one. This is my favorite one. Again, most comfortable, most support, most coverage, but it doesn't feel like, it doesn't feel like it feels comfortable. Now, the one thing that I do want to point out, because it might be a deal breaker for some of you, okay, is that they also increase the coverage on the side. And you guys know that I love coverage on the side. I love it, okay, because I have loose skin. I don't need my boobs hanging out. I don't need my loose skin coming out. So I like the coverage. Now, for me, this one is like borderline too much, because like it just comes up really high. I know some of the other athletes have also said that they wish it wasn't as high. I still find it comfortable for me, for my preference and how I want my bras to fit. But if you're one of those people who does not like this, you might think that it's too much. Again, I'm okay with it. But those of you who don't like this might think it's too much. I got my normal size large. I know some of the other girls have said they would have preferred a size down or half size down. For example, I know Kara size down. Again, she's itty bitty committee, so for her it makes sense to size down. But then we have, like, for example, Gabs is full busted and she got her normal size, but she's got a lot of like gaping right here. Like, it just, you see how she has all this extra fabric? So for her, she wishes she would have sized down. I got my normal size. I don't think I could have sized down. I think that if I had sized down, then this would definitely be digging into my armpits. The way it is right now, it is perfect. It doesn't dig in, it doesn't cut in, it's not tight. I don't have extra fabric either. Like, it just lays very nicely and flat against my body. So I like this fit the way it is in my normal size. For me personally, I wouldn't size down. Now, if you're itty bitty titty committee, or maybe like you don't have as much side boob, I think that we also have to keep in mind where we carry the bulk of our boob fat or boob tissue, because it's not always fat, it's always tissue, right? Everyone's boobs are shaped differently. Some people have like more tissue up here, some people have more tissue here on the sides, some people just like they sag a little bit more. So you got to keep in mind how yours sit on your body, okay? Mine are like, they come out. I don't have anything here. My boob fat and tissue is to the sides. So for me, because of that, they're fine, right? But as someone like Gab's tissue is more at the top part of her chest, and she's more narrow here, so that's why she gets the gaping, right? So again, it's very important to keep in mind your body type. I say this all the time. Get to know your body, get to know the parts of your body that you want to highlight or that you don't want to highlight, so that you know how to pick the pieces that you want. For me, I love this bra. Love it, love it, love it, love it. It is a long line bra, meaning it has a long line band, and it does a better job at staying put compared to Newbury's. I think it's because it's airbrush fabric. However, it does still kind of like end up rolling a little bit. Nothing crazy, but I know that some of you, that's something that you question when you get things like Revolution, Rosa, Monarch, like things that are longer line and how the line ends up like scrunching up. So this one does it a little bit, but not as much as Newbury fabric. Again, I think it's because it's airbrush fabric, so it just kind of sticks to your body a little bit better. For me, this is a theta top pick, but again, I'm someone who likes support, compression, coverage. That is what makes this a theta top pick for me and my preference and my body type. Obviously, I got the black multi, but I also got some solid color options because I'm a simple gal. I just need one cute color and I'm happy. Next, I have the Everyday Airbrush Short. I'm actually wearing my black multi ones right now. These are my Nile multi ones. I got my normal size large. You know, with previous airbrush, we've said if you don't want your waistband to be too tight, size up. If you're in between sizes, size up. But they've actually opened up the waistband on these. So now I don't think you need to size up unless you're like absolutely closer to the larger end of the spectrum for your sizing. Then maybe you want to consider sizing up, but I personally would not size up in these. Another thing to keep in mind is that these are also high rise, not ultra high rise. Now for me, they're still pretty high. Obviously not as high as ultra high rise, but they're still pretty high. Nowhere near as high as the Rosa pocket from Story, but they definitely come way over my belly button. And thankfully, I still do get a little bit of like torso showing between my long line maraschino and my airbrush. So again, they're high rise, not ultra high rise, okay? So if you size up, then I'm afraid that they're going to be way too big in the waistband between them being high rise and between them opening up the waistband so it's not so tight. I'm afraid they're going to be too big on you, okay? Or they're going to be sliding all over the place. So just keep that in mind. I would say go with your normal size. Normal size. If you're someone who wants them to just be really tight and compressive, then you can size down. But for me, my normal size large is perfect. They stay put, they don't roll, they cover my belly, but without making me feel like I'm Steve Urkel, and they come all the way up to my boobs. They're perfect, okay? Again, airbrush fabric, so soft wicking, very slick feeling, great for performance, great for support, great for compression. They do have a 7-inch inseam, but once you put them on, and I mean, you'll see the video here, once you put them on, I don't feel like they look extra long. They don't feel like bikers or board shorts or anything. They have a really good length, in my opinion, and because since it is such a like constricting fabric, a very like, yeah, compressive constricting fabric, they don't stay long and look like 7 inches. To me, they look like a good 5 or 6 inch short. But love that. We finally have the added pocket. I think this is the first time we've seen airbrush with pocket. Am I right? I'm pretty sure. I'm trying to think. I don't think the Story ones had pockets, or the Genesis ones. What else have we had airbrush? We've had airbrush quite a few times. Was it Warrior? I think Warrior had it too. We've had quite a few airbrushes, but I don't think we've had pockets yet. So this is the first time we've had a pocket. I personally love the pocket. It fits my cell phone. I have a 17 Pro Max, so the big mumbo jumbo, and it fits in my pocket. Now, I am going to say this, okay? I wear a size large, so obviously my pocket width is going to be bigger than someone who wears an extra small, because an extra small is going to be a smaller short. Therefore, your pocket space is going to be smaller. So just keep that in mind, because I know that happens sometimes where like I'll review something and I'll be like, look, I can fit my phone in here, and then other people are like, oh, I can't fit my phone in there. Well, we don't wear the same size, so obviously our pockets are not going to be the same size. So just something to keep in mind about the pocket. On a size large, which is what I'm wearing, I can fit my phone. My phone fits just fine. Now this is kind of like a revamp, a redo of the original Loch Ness legging and Loch Ness short. But one thing that I absolutely love, that I'm so glad they did, is they took away the contrast butt seam. Okay, because let me find one of my other ones. Okay, actually, here, I just grabbed the first ones I could find. So these are the ones from the Pride capsule from like 2-3 years ago. They had a Pride capsule with like rainbow stuff. Do you see how on these, the seam down the butt crack was also colored? They took that off. They took that off. And so now it's just the same color as the rest of the short, which in my opinion makes the short so much more flattering. So if you don't want to highlight your butt crack like they did with the old ones, this one just looks better. I also think that that's why these grew on me, because it's a little bit less, or it's more strategically placed in a flattering way. So I love these. For the first time ever that I've been part of the Buffbunny team, I'm saying I actually love the contrast stitching. Maybe that's all I needed. Maybe it was just because I didn't like the placement of all the other ones, but this one, love. I think it accentuates my curves. I think they look so good. Obsessed with these. So highly recommend. Again, also now when it comes to the short versus the legging, I prefer the shorts. I think that the leggings roll, and I think it's because they're leggings, right? Because a short is a short, it's a shorter, like you have less fabric in your legs, you're able to pull them up higher and your waistband sits better, whereas with leggings, they take up your whole leg, so you can only bring them up so much. And I think the way that the leggings hit my waist, they roll, but the shorts do not. The shorts stay put. So if it were up to me and my preference, I prefer the shorts over the leggings. So for me, the shorts are going to be a dead top pick. Obsessed with these. Obsessed. Here are the leggings. Now for the leggings, I did only get solid colors. I can take the contrast in the shorts and the bra, but when it came to the leggings, I was like, no, that's too much for me. That's too much for me. So for my airbrush leggings, I got solid colors. Same thing as the shorts. Airbrush fabric, high rise. We've got the pockets, okay? There's obviously the contrast stitching ones, or there's solid ones. Again, I went for solid. Now, again, I feel like with the leggings, the waistband does roll, like it does roll. On me, it rolls. I wore these Okay, so when I'm standing or walking, I love these. I think they're great. They're so sweat wicking. They're compressive. They control the tummy. They're so good. For walking, perfect. For running, they'd probably be great, but I don't run because, you know, my knee. But they're great when you're standing, when you're doing standing movements. The thing is that I wore these for Pilates this past weekend. At my retreat, we did Pilates, and they were rolling like crazy. Like, literally we were just like doing like donkey kickbacks or something on all fours, and they would roll. I would do a sit-up, they would roll. I was doing a side plank, they would roll. Like anything having to do with bending, either forward or to the side, they would automatically roll. Notice how I've been doing all of this like side rolling with the shorts, and they've stayed up. These don't. They will slide on me, and I'm honestly afraid to get a size up because then I feel like the waistband is going to be too big. It's not that the waistband is big in my opinion. I think the waistband is fine. Like the width of the waistband is fine. I just think what they should have done is either increase the rise so they stay in place better, or they should have added a top seam, either the front or the back. And I know top seams are controversial. I know some of y'all hate top seams, but on fabrics like these, I like a top seam because this fabric is already so just like snappy, so slick, that if you don't have something to control the sliding, they're gonna slide. They're gonna slide like crazy. So I feel that would have, because like we look at the ones from Story, right? The ones from Story, let me grab them. The ones from Story are ultra high rise. They don't roll. They don't roll at all. They stay nice and put because they come up so high. But these don't come up as high. They sit lower. So any little movement, and because it's a wider waistband, it just rolls. It rolls on me like crazy. Again, that's just for my body type. Go check out multiple reviews from different athletes because it might be different. Everyone, you know, everyone's bodies are different. So go check out other people's reviews. But for me personally, they roll. They roll in the waistband. I wish they didn't because I love everything else about them. Love the compression, love the support, love the pocket, love the sweat wicking, love everything else about them. But that's it. So I'm still gonna wear these because I think they're still really good. So I'm gonna wear them when I go do pasitos with Milo, or just like for everyday here. Like, you know, if I work out at home, that's fine. But I don't know that I'm gonna be wearing these for like solid core or anything like that because I'm gonna be pulling up my waistband like every 3 seconds. Okay, and then I put them one on top of the other just so you can see how much, like how they opened it. So this is the blue one is the one from Story, again also airbrush, and then the Pharaoh ones are the ones from my Not Friend Community collection. So you can see they are wider. I'm like literally, see, they're like, focus camera. Okay, but the everyday ones from this collection are a little bit wider and they sit just a tad lower. So that makes them roll. Do you see now why I never do my reviews straight out of the box? You put them on and you review it because sometimes you don't truly know how these pieces are gonna hold up until you actually move in them, until you actually do things in them. That's why, you know, always when there's a new launch, like, when's the review? Guys, let me wear them, let me test them, let me make sure so I can give you accurate information. So, standing up, if I could just put them on right out of the bag, I'd be like, oh yeah, they're so great. I wouldn't have known they would roll until I actually worked out in them, which is when I found out they roll. Let's talk about the Flirty Flo Boyshort. There has been an update to this short. I'm gonna post it somewhere here. What they did is they increased the rise. So before they kind of sit a little bit more at your hips, now they come up a little bit more higher rise, which I actually love. I do approve of that change. I am so happy with it. You guys know that these are my babies. I worked so hard on them with the team. So that was a thing that I had suggested before too, but just kind of had run out of time. So I'm glad that they fixed that for this collection. So now the rise is in, or comes up, in the front and the back. And then for sizes for the larger sizes, I think it was medium and up, it was either medium up or large and up, they increased the leg opening of the liner short so it doesn't squeeze your thigh. My old ones didn't squeeze, but I mean, I'm all for anything that's going to make them more size inclusive. So I guess some people suggested that they open in the leg opening, and I'm okay with that. To me, they fit great, okay? The only thing that I don't like, and I don't know if it was like an oversight on the design team or if it's just a Teresa thing. I don't know. It could just be a Teresa thing, right? Is that, in my opinion, as much as they brought the rise up, that's how much they should have added in length to the outer shell. You guys know that this outer shell has no stretch. In fact, it's recommended that for these, you size according to your hips, or if your stomach is bigger than, I guess, your stomach, but mostly to your hips, because you're not going to have any give here, right? So, because they increased the rise, and I'm going to put pictures right here so you can see, okay? Here's the Vita ones, and here's the Community Collection ones. Same size, okay? So you can see. They increased the rise, and I think that the waistband looks much better. It stays much better. It's more flattering. It's more comfortable. But they didn't change the outer shell. They didn't add any length. So however much they increased that rise, they should have increased the outer shell, particularly in the crotch area, because now they sit higher, so therefore the outer shell comes up higher, and now it's giving the illusion of a shorter outer shell. I've measured them. The outer shell is the exact same length on both versions, same size. The outer shell is the same, but because the new ones sit higher, naturally, by default, the outer shell is also going to come up higher. And it kind of gives that like camel toe wedgie look. Again, this could just be a Teresa thing. Could just be my body. Could just be my hips. Could just be my curves. I don't know. Again, I always recommend that you check out other athletes. Don't take my word as like the final say, because everything's subjective, right? But for me, this is what I've experienced. Now, when I have them on, it doesn't feel like a wedgie. It doesn't feel tight. It doesn't feel constricting. It just looks that way. And I don't like how it looks. I lose the flow. If this is supposed to be a flirty flow, I lose the flow. There's no flow. And this is already a size up because, again, you have to size to your hips. So I get an extra large in these to size for my hips. I can't size up anymore. I already have to tie the waistband to like make my waistband fit. If I size up a second time to get flow on my hips, even if I tie the waistband, the draw cord in the waistband, it's going to be too big. And I shouldn't have to size up twice to be able to wear a pair of shorts, in my opinion, okay? I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. This should really come in two variations. There should be a curvy plus size version, and there should be a standard version, because this is one of those items that you cannot make size inclusive due to the lack of stretch in the outer shell. I did talk to design, because obviously when I saw the change, I was like, my babies! I did talk to design, and they told me that they're working on sourcing a different material for the outer shell, something that has a little bit more give, more stretch, to again make them more size inclusive. I hope that they're able to find something that works. I wouldn't be opposed to that if they change the outer shell material, because if it's going to make them more size inclusive, then by all means, please improve them, make them better. I like the waistband change. I've said it before, I'll say it again. I love the waistband change. I just feel like they should have accommodated the outer shell to fit the change that they made to the waistband. So, just giving you my 2 cents. That's how they fit me. Now, I'm still gonna wear them because I still like them. They're still comfortable. Oh, one more thing. This colorway is no longer launching. I'm gonna get close so you can see. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see. Yeah, okay, so let me focus because it's so bright. I don't know if you'll be able to see. But they pulled these because they're stained. I don't know if it's coming. I'm gonna put pictures too, just in case. So I don't know, somehow, I don't know if it's in the manufacturing process, shipping process. I believe they said it's the dye from the black short spilling onto the green short. I think that's what they said. Don't quote me on that, but they're coming out stained. They're stained. Okay, the lima beans are stained. The other ones aren't stained. Check them. So it's got to be like the black dye of the outer short staining the lima bean short. So these have been pulled. This colorway is no longer coming, but all the other colorways are, just not this black and lima bean one. So just heads up on that. Okay, then we have the Iris tank. Again, also a returning item, but it is also different. The original, I want to say, was Nimbus fabric, kind of like the rainforest crop and a lot of those other like old tops. I miss Nimbus fabric. I loved Nimbus fabric. They changed this one to Halo fabric, which I also do like Halo fabric. I mean, I got my Halo baby tees, right? I love Halo fabric. So I do like the fabric of this. I am just not a fan of boxy tanks, right? So like, okay, here's my figure, okay? I'm a curvy girl. I'm hourglass shaped, right? This is a boxy tank, and I just feel like when I put it on, I lose my shape, and I look and feel boxy AF, and I don't feel feminine in it. And maybe it's just me, but I just don't feel feminine in it. Like, it's so wide right here, and it's so boxy that I feel like it does nothing for my shape. I love the back. The back is so cute. I love this like little crisscross situation. I just don't like this right here. I wish they made it thinner, or maybe a little bit scooped a little bit lower. I don't know what it is. Plus, I also just don't like super big openings like this. Like, it's not my thing. We talked about that with the summer collection. They had those like muscle tanks. This is kind of giving that same muscle tank cut, which I'm not a fan of. Again, it does nothing for my shape. It just makes me look bossy. When I do wear it, I kind of crop it just a little bit, so at least you can see the shape of my waist a little bit. Still not my favorite. Honestly, I'll probably still wear it on days when I'm feeling extra bloaty next to my period, because since it is flowy, it does a good job at covering the belly. So I'll probably still wear it. Is it cute? Yes. Do I like it? Yes. Do I love it? No. I just hope that in the future, if we get flowy ones, I would love to get a few more options and hopefully something not as boxy. But overall, cute. Again, love the back. Love the back. The back is my favorite part of the whole tank. But Iris Flow tank. Next up, we have the tee, the long sleeve tee. I love the phrase on this one. I was actually wondering when this one was going to come out, because I do remember talking to Heidi and a design team, and we were looking at shirt graphics, kind of around the same time that we were working on the Vita graphics, and they're like, oh, do you want to see some other graphics? So I remember looking at the graphics, and they're kind of going back and forth between anti-social lifting club and social lifting club, and I was like, well, I like to work out by myself. I know that's not the norm for a lot of people, like unless I'm going to a group fitness class like Solid Core or something like that. I like to lift by myself. Like, I like to lift for myself, but everything else I'm okay doing with group. But anyway, so I remember saying I want the anti-social lifting club, but then I was like, you know what, you should do both, and then just kind of let people pick the one they want, because we're not all in the same boat, right? Some people prefer to work out with a friend, with a buddy, with a group, or whatever. I like to lift by myself. I don't want to like sit there and re-rack our weights or adjust the bars or the machines or anything. I just want to be in my own little world with my headphones on, listening to an audiobook or a podcast or music. I'm an anti-social lifting club person. So I love the graphic of this one. It's very simple. Love the text, love the font. Like how it's monochromatic, like purple on purple. Love, 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 love. I'm so happy that Buffbunny has finally found their fabric, because for a long time, if they didn't pick their t-shirt graphics fast enough, then we would get that like scratchy cotton. And now that they kind of gotten into the groove of what they want for their graphic tees, they're able to get us this soft cotton, which I love. It's the same ones that we've been seeing since, I don't know, Vita. I feel like Vita was probably where we've been consistent in the same kind of material. Maybe before that. But yeah, it's that same flowy, soft cotton. I'm wearing a normal large, which in my opinion is relaxed but not oversized. It's definitely relaxed. So this is in my normal size. So if you get your normal size, it should fit something like this. Size up or down accordingly. Some of you don't want it like this, so you would size down. Some of you want it even bigger, so you would size up. I'm just saying in your normal size, it should look something like this. I like my normal size. I think it's fine. It's perfect. 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 Love it. Love this. Next up, we have our cloud items, starting with the full zip cloud hoodie. And the full zip is in reference to the zipper being a full zip versus a quarter zip. It's a full zip. Full zip zipper. As far as the length of the hoodie, I'd say it's more hip length. I wouldn't say it's full length. It's got a full zipper, but I think it's hip length. Compared to the thread zip that just launched with Lift Like a Lady, this one is shorter. I do think that the Lift Like a Lady one was actually full length, like full length. This one is shorter than that. In fact, I'll put a picture of you right here. Both of these are medium, but you can see that the Lift Like a Lady threads was actually full length, whereas this one is hip length. Now, short torso, so for me, I do get plenty of coverage. But if you're a long torso person, it might fit you a little bit more waist length or even cropped, especially if you size down, because it's going to be a little bit shorter. But for me, I like how it fits. I am wearing a size medium, so I actually did size down. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I pretty much have large everything, but I did size down in cloud. This is boyfriend cloud, so that boyfriend cloud is more of that like unisex or oversized fit, which is why you can size down. I know there are some people who size down twice. I don't feel the need to size down twice. I feel like one size down is perfect, especially for the bottoms, for the joggers, because I'm a curvy girl. You'll see here when I get to the bottoms in a minute. But hoodie itself, okay, again, I'm wearing a size medium. I still have plenty of room, very roomy. It does have that like bat wing shape of the arms, but I don't feel like it's as bat wingy as like the cloud from Story of Motherhood. I feel like that one was more wingy than this one, so it's a little bit more subtle wing. I love the wing. You guys know that. I love the wing. Personally, I don't get why people hate on the wing. I love the wing, but this one is definitely a more subtle wing. And like I said, depending on your torso length, this might fit you. Hip length, waist length, or even crop length. For me, it's hip length, like that. It does have a hood. Yes, the hood is heavy, just like all the other cloud hoodies. It's the same cloud, but it's still so cozy and it's still so soft, and I love it. And I got it in that frosted purple because I don't have any purple sweats. One thing I did notice in the hoodie is that the pockets have another pocket inside, like the mesh pocket, kind of like the oh my god, I'm blanking at plush fleece. The plush, I want to say it was plush fleece. The plush fleece items from earlier this year. I want to say it was also Warrior. I was a part of that shoot. It's Warrior. It has to be Warrior. Those plush fleece items also had the mesh pockets in the pockets. So if you got some of those, that's kind of what it looks like. Which is great because since the pockets are roomy, then you have that little extra like security here. So like you have your car key or something, it kind of like stays in there a little bit better and it doesn't like fall out, you know? Or for me, like it would be my pepper spray. Put it in that little pocket. So I love the hoodie. I do like it. I know it's not super long. I know a lot of you prefer a longer hoodie. Totally get it. Like I said, especially different your torso length. Like if I raise my arms, I'm still pretty much covered, so I don't feel exposed. But I know for some others, especially if you size down, if you raise your arms, you will probably see some torso, some tummy, some situation there. But for me it works fine. I like it. Size down. Obviously, if you want it baggier or roomier, size up. or get your normal size. Don't size up, get your normal size. But yeah, I love it. I love it. It's so cozy. I still think Threads is my favorite though, just because Threads is thinner and I get hot. So Threads is still my favorite, but Cloud is my number 2. Cloud fabrics number 2. So cozy. Then we have the Cloud bottoms, the Cloud joggers. Again, this is that boyfriend oversized fit, so you can absolutely size down once or twice if you want a very fitted jogger. Once again, I'm normally a size large and everything, but for the jogger, because it is that boyfriend oversized fit, I size down to a medium. Please note right here, okay, that the inseam length changes according to the size that you get, okay? Please note, because usually before it was like you would get like short, regular, or tall, and they didn't do that this time. It's just the inseam changes according to the size. I don't know, do we like that? Honestly, I don't know, because since this is a jogger, maybe because this is a jogger, it doesn't affect as many people because it's a jogger, so the ankle part is like cinched in. But I don't feel like, for the mediums that I got, I don't feel like they're too long or too short. But then again, I'm also 5'2". So if you're a tall, super tall girly who wears like a medium, I would like to know, are they long enough for you? Because I haven't seen anybody complain about it, so maybe this is a good thing. Let me know in the comments, okay? But just heads up that the inseam will change according to your size. Like I said, I size down to a medium, and it does give me a more fitted look, but it's still relaxed, it's still loungy, it's still roomy. Sometimes with joggers and sweats, like if I size down too much, you can see the outline of the hem of my shorts. I'm wearing shorts here, and you can kind of see it, but it doesn't look tight. Does that make sense? And that's just because I have big thighs. But you can see they look fine, right? Right now, I know the trend right now is to kind of wear your joggers kind of like more low rise, you know, versus like high-waisted. And because these are oversized, even by sizing down, I can still kind of like wiggle them down to be at my hips, so look, that little low-rise vibe going there. And they stay fine. They stay fine. You can also roll them. They do have the drawstring. They have pockets. I'm so glad. Do you remember for a while they were doing, I think, not these joggers, but like the Jasmine jogger and the, what was the other jogger? The other joggers, they were doing like the metal zippers on the joggers. I'm so glad they stopped doing that, because I just like the normal pocket like that. I don't need the zipper. And sometimes the zipper would kind of like poke. So I'm glad they stopped doing that. But yeah, love the joggers. Once again, I got it in frosted purple. They're perfect. Obsessed. If you are curvy, if you got a big booty, if you got big hips, I wouldn't size down more than once, because then they're going to be too tight. They might look too tight. They might not feel too tight, but they will look too tight. So I would say get with your normal size or a size down, just one. I wouldn't recommend 2. I wouldn't recommend a size up unless you absolutely want them like super baggy, low rise vibe, then yes, size up. But I think for most people, normal size or one size down is going to be your best fit. But once again, I'm wearing medium. Love them. The Cloud sets are a top pick, especially now that we're going into the colder months. I do wish, just like a lot of you, I wish we had them in some darker colors. But I would have loved to have seen Cloud in Nile or in Eggplant, just because those are more like darker jewel toned colors for fall. But I mean, I'm not hating on the frosted purple. Still love them. Still cute. Still something different from all the other Cloud and Threads and plush fleece sets that I have. This is the Revolution Candy Bra. This is going to be a top pick. I actually really like this bra. So if you watched my reviews before, you know that I've always said that I would like candy wrap more if it had a different back, because that's what I didn't like about candy wrap, is the straps in the back. I didn't like how they would dig into my back. I didn't like how they would roll. I didn't like how they were just so wide out. They kind of like came like right here. I wasn't a fan of the back. I like the wrap front. I just didn't care for the back. So my wish has been answered. Ta-da! So what they did is they took the candy wrap bust, essentially, but then they took the Revolution back and straps to make Revolution candy. And I love it, love it. So that being said, I do think, so I'm wearing my normal size large, okay? I do think that it runs just a teeny bit bigger. So if you have a smaller like rib cage, like right here, then you can size down, because like I don't have a small rib cage, but I still have like room right here, right? So if you have a smaller rib cage, you can size down. Since it's newbie fabric, it's gonna stretch. Like you're good. It's not gonna like dig in. So if you have a small rib cage, size down. If you're between sizes, size down. If you want it to just be more snug, to kind of give you that that lift, then you can size down, because it'll lift them like this, right? But in your normal size, which is my normal size, it fits like this. I feel that I could wear a medium if I wanted just to, you know what I mean? If I want to be more locked and loaded. But that being said, in my normal large, it's still great. I get plenty of coverage. It's pretty supportive. And it fits more like the Revolution length. I'll put a picture here. But I know with the candy wrap, it kind of, it wasn't short line, but it was just shorter than most long line bras. It was kind of more like this. This one fits more like Revolution. It's like the actual Revolution length. In fact, I measured all three of them here so you can see from like the side coverage, it's the same length as Revolution, which is 1 inch longer than candy wrap. So I just say it fits more like a Revolution bra. It's like, but with the candy wrap front. It's cute little sweetheart, newbie fabric. I'm wearing the Nile Hustle print, which I love. I love Nile. I love anything that's like bluish, tealish. So duh, I was gonna get this color. But even the solid colors are really super cute. I kind of low-key want it in bunny pink, or even just plain black, because you can never go wrong with black. But yeah, love this bra. Very comfy, really cute. Obviously, if you wear this, like, keep in mind, if you're gonna wear a cover up, maybe a t-shirt would be fine, hoodie would be fine. I wouldn't wear anything that's like super fitted, like a halo baby tee or anything, because then you'd be able to see like the wrap design through the halo fabric, right? So just keep that in mind. But overall, love. Again, Revolution back, super cute, newbie fabric, nice and stretchy. Love this. Thank you, design team, for taking two amazing bras and meshing them together and giving us this beauty. These are the Pocket Legacy leggings, ultra high rise, although I feel like they're not as ultra high rise as some other Legacy. They're still high rise, don't get me wrong, they're still high rise, but you see how I still get a little bit of like torso action here? That rarely happens with ultra high rise for me. So they're still high rise, but I think they're just a little bit shorter, which I am fine with. They're still comfy, they still cover everything. My belly button is way down here, so I still have all of this coverage, right? Again, newbie fabric, because they are Legacy, but they have a pocket. I love pockets. So I will pick this one over the airbrush one. Yeah, if I could only pick one legging, I would pick this one over the airbrush legging, for sure. What was I gonna tell you? Again, hustle print. The inside of the legging, it is colored on the inside. It's not Nile, like this is Nile. Do you see? It's like lighter than Nile. So I wish it was Nile, but it's this like lighter teal color. And then here it is just next to Nile. I'll put a picture here too. Just the normal Nile. I feel like it's a little bit lighter than Nile. But yeah, and I'll do a squat test right here, because I know that sometimes with prints, when you stretch them, the print gets distorted. So obviously you'll see the squat here, so you can see how faded or distorted the print gets when you're at the bottom of the squat, when you stretch it out. But yeah, I honestly, they have done such a good job with this part. I'm so happy, because in the past, when there were printed leggings, like I'm thinking specifically Sugar Rush, they had the what was that print? Terrazzo print from Sugar Rush. I remember that the when I would put them on, the legging itself would be one shade and then the pocket would be a completely different shade depending on the stretchability. And I feel like they've done such a much better job at blending the two, like the pocket fabric with the legging fabric, so that it doesn't look too obviously like a pocket, like it just kind of like blends in. They've done such a good job at fixing that, so I'm very happy with that. Yeah, I love it. Medium support, medium compression, Nubra fabric. We love Nubra. She's buttery, she's soft. Perfect for anything. I know it's a mobility pillar item, but I wear it for anything. I wear it for running, I wear it for Pilates, I wear it for solid core, I wear it for lifting, I wear it just to run errands. It's such a good versatile fabric. So 100% a dead top pick. You guys know I love me a headband. We do get headbands with this collection. This is the first time we are getting airbrush headbands, which I actually kind of like because we know that airbrush is more sweat wicking, more meant for performance, and it just will do a much better job at holding the sweat on your head from dripping down into your face. Because they are airbrush though, they are a little tighter. They're a little tighter than the Nubra ones. So if you felt that the Nubra ones were tight, you might find these a little tight. It's not uncomfortable, okay? It's not uncomfortable at all. In fact, I do remember I was with Kara and Gabs. We were at HQ one day, the three of us, and they showed them to us, and all three of us tried them on, and all three of us were like, ow, my head. So they did fix that. I'm glad they did that. This was like way at the beginning of the year too. It was a long time ago. So I'm glad that they took our feedback from that day and they gave us a little bit more fabric, so it's not as tight. So it's compressive and it's supportive and it holds your hair, but it is going to be a little bit tighter than Nubra. Okay, so just heads up on that. I've been wearing it for a minute. It doesn't bother me. I put it on initially when I first got it and I kept it on for like 30 minutes. It didn't bother me. I am going to wear it to solid core tomorrow. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to test it in solid core prior to filming this video, but I am going to wear it to solid core tomorrow, and obviously I'm going to come on stories immediately and give y'all an update. But as of right now, I think it's okay to wear for like your workout. Like I would wear it for my workout. I don't know how long I could wear it for, but just because it is a little bit tighter than what I'm used to. So I'll test it tomorrow. I'm gonna wear it to solid. I'm gonna wear it for at least 2 hours tomorrow. You know, getting ready, driving to solid core, at solid core, running errands, coming back. That should be about a 2-hour window where I'm gonna wear it, and I'm gonna give you a heads up or an update over on Instagram story. So if you want to know, go check that out. Maybe I'll even add it in the comments of this video. But just it's a little tighter. One thing is it does have this like felt little ribbon on the inside, which does kind of help it grip better, but it doesn't pull your hair, because silicone ones, I don't know if you've ever seen headbands that have like the silicone grip. The silicone grip tends to kind of rip out your hair, and these felt ones do a better job at not pulling your hair. So I do like that. And plus, because it's such a slick fabric, you need something on the inside to give you that like texture, that grip to like just really hold on. But overall, I do like the headbands. I think these are going to be great for runners as well. My only wish is that it was just a little bit wider, which I've said that before about other headbands. I wish it was just a little bit, like a little bit wider. Give me like a little ½ inch more, and I think that also is just going to help distribute the pressure so it doesn't feel so tight. But other than that, I do like the headbands. Alright friends, that's all I have for you today. I hope you found this review helpful. Please let me know in the comments if you have any questions that I can help answer. Remember that over on my Instagram, I do have an entire highlight where I've been answering questions, adding little like one-day reviews of things as I see, as they come up. Color comparisons are all over there as well. So I hope that you have some peace of mind going into this launch and you know what you are going to get. As always, code Teresa saves you money at checkout, and it supports me directly, me and my family. You can enter the monthly giveaway. Launches this Saturday. I think that's all I got for you. please like this video. A like, a comment. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It really helps me a lot. It helps me grow as a creator as well. And yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.